So welcome to episode 3 with self-proclaimed Shin main Richard Palmer and
Soon. Soon.
soon to be Shin main and Dabby guy Brett Pendragon. We're
And
gonna
our official mascot, a little man, Taco, my favouriteest boy. Beautiful boy.
It's a very nice dog. You got the same kind of sort of like hair pattern and colour.
A little bit. Yeah, that's my face.
So we're gonna I'll do a little intro, talk about class reunion a little bit since that's the biggest news. Have a little chat about what we think's going to turn up at KC, and then we'll get back into the set 5 promos, including what came out over the last week. Hopefully, we can get through. There's not as many as last time, but we'll probably just do initial reactions rather than what we were doing last time, which is like going more into like big details.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what will probably happen is we'll spend 2 hours. Well, I'll spend 2 hours talking about Shin, and then we'll spend 2 seconds on the other ones.
Yeah, and then next week or the week after, when the Mill character is revealed, I'll do a whole 3-hour thesis on why this Mill character is the greatest thing to ever happen to Jasco, and then Richard will appear behind me and knock me out.
Yes. Yeah. Because Miller's bad, and that's it, really. Yeah, and Miller's bad.
See, Andrew Holder, Jose Naruno, and yourself, some of the best MHA players, don't know about universes, have said that Mill is bad, but me and Sam Tate are defending it because alternate win conditions are good.
Right, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have an issue with it existing. Right, I don't enjoy it. I think it's fine. Loads of people like it. That's okay for it to exist. But if ever Mill is good and competitive, then it's usually toxic as all hell and shouldn't be there. Um, so yeah, I'm happy it just sort of being in the background as something people can sort of casually meme around and have fun with. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
where it belongs.
I get that side of it, and if Mill is the primary win condition, if Mill is primary how you're winning, then yes, the game is probably not in the best place. But if
it's competitive, then something's gone wrong.
But having things like final exam gut shot as a backup plan for if you can't get the damage through, to me feels like a very good thing. If I come across a recovery girl deck or a Hakagori 2 deck or these really defensive Pillar 40 decks that once they get fully set up, I can't break through. Same with like Present Mike 1. Having the ability to go, okay, it is now a race to see who loses their deck first, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but generally speaking, it's like Mill does nothing until you mill the final card, right?
Yeah.
And that's always the problem with it. And often with Mill is you're helping them because like graveyard's a resource. Most games are graveyard as a resource, especially more so now. I think
with
more stuff.
With these
So
new characters,
you're just helping your opponent. You're giving them more resources until they're dead.
There are a lot of the new characters that allow you to play cards from other zones, and characters like Tokiyami, which are able to pick up some of Dark Shadow. Characters like Shoto 1, who get stronger the more cards go in discard. Same with
Endeavor 1.
Endeavor 1 gets a lot stronger. Yeah, because you get to keep picking your cards back up. That's what Mill is quite balanced, especially in this game where it's a case of if you mill your opponent and they've got a big enough deck, such as Momo 1, you're just going to give them back their attacks. You're just going to give them back all their resources that were in the discard. And chances are they bring a deck that's bigger than yours anyway.
Yeah, it's just bad. You shouldn't do it. If you want to have fun with it and meme with it, then crack on. But yeah,
that is why I'm very interested to see what is going to happen with this mill character. Is it going to be a Camry Woods Present Mike situation where it's commit mill 6? If your opponent draws a card, if you block, if something happens, ready up. Or is it just going to be a simple case of I need to predict when my opponent's attack run's going to come to an end and it's got bloop, mill 6, back to my turn. So like a Gran Torino sort of thing where you're waiting to pick pick up your card and make your point discard at the right time. Is it good? Is it
No,
good? Is it going to be brain dead mill or is it going to be strategic mill? Yeah,
I don't really like it. Just we'll have to wait and see, to be honest. But I won't play it.
yeah. That's
So,
I,
um,
I. If I pull it, I might play it at pre-release because milling pre-release gets done.
yeah, and I suspect it won't be good because it feels like they're trying a lot to make the sets better for limited play, which is a good
Yeah, and it.
step forward, right? Like one of the, 'cause I can't remember who else, I think it was Sam Tate. I was chatting about like one of the best things they ever did for Magic was limited play because it means you still need to crack packs to play the game, even when you've got your all the cards you want for your constructed decks or whatever.
Yeah, you're
So
preaching to the choir.
having that as an option for universes is only ever going to be a good
Yeah,
thing.
and I'm one of the people that was vocal that when people were talking about the HLC, I was where people was basically saying, I think the first day of HLC should have been set for sealed. We get more
Yeah,
packs. It makes it. It's you still have the skill aspects, but you've also got a luck aspect as to what you pull. But you're going in there with limited knowledge from the Friday, and going from there, and it would have impacted day two maybe just as much as day one already did with the way we played it. But that's something moving forward, and maybe it's something we can do before the pre-release. Have a podcast episode where we just talk about sealed play and what we will be looking out for in sealed and how we're going to approach the pre-releases.
yeah. No, I think we definitely should. Sort of leading up to the sort of pre-release week is have an
Yeah,
episode where we talk about what we think is going to be good in pre-release, like what are the characters you want to be looking for. Obviously, it's different because you're limited to your 6 characters you're open, right?
yeah.
Um,
It's
and any XRs or whatever. But the sort of strategies, the characters, what are going to be the good attacks, good foundations, because they, in theory, are going to be different between sealed play and what are good at constructed and stuff like
yeah.
that. So yeah, you can definitely have a chat about. We'll do an
Oh
episode about
yeah,
that. Sort of going
definitely.
forward.
And like you said, I think there's going to be a lot of cards I've looked at and I've gone, this is going to be great in sealed play, but I don't know how it's going to play outside of it. And it's the same thing, like you're saying. The best thing they did for MTG, the best thing they did for other card games, was introduce sealed play because not every single one of your attacks and every single one of your foundations has to be a competitive banger now. It does not have to be an amazing card all round. It can have that. This card's great if you pull it in sealed, but it won't do. But you're probably not going to play it competitive, especially now that provisionals can be sealed or draft format as well.
I mean, I don't think that's to me that there's 2 main reasons. One, limited play is great.
Yeah.
Like I don't know whether you've played. I don't know. I can't remember what your sort of card game history, whether you've done much sort of limited play in other card games previously. But like for me, draft was always the best way to play Magic.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Before MTG Arena came around, I used to play MTG Online, and I played in the Tempest drafts. I played in the Khans drafts and stuff. I did.
Tempest was a banger.
Yeah, that was when it was like part of the vault because when I moved down to the Somerset, I kind of the area wasn't as competitive as well as used to, so I kind of drifted out. So I used to play with a lot of my friends back up north. Uh, Shout out to the Nerd Shack in Wigan, but via online play. But I also took part in sealed events that they ran, and it it was a lot more. It was a lot more fun than constructed play for me.
Yeah, no, draft is amazing. So if we can get into a world where like limited play is catered for and fun within universes, I think that's only a good thing. And also like just from a purely financial perspective, right? Very quickly you get to a point where it's like, okay, I don't want to open any more set 4 packs.
No,
I've got my play sets of stuff I need. I don't want to buy any more packs. But like, if you're doing a draft at your locals night, yeah, I'll crack 3, 4, 5, 6, however many packs it is. I'll pay for my entry, and that's more money into the pockets of your LGSs and stuff to pay for these
it
limited tournaments.
also helps out new players in two ways. So one for players like ourselves who have been playing for the full year now because it's coming up to a year for the EU release. Uh, you'll come across new players now that are like struggling to find set one packs, struggling to find frigid heat waves and all these old staple cards that people run. Uh, so going into sealed play is kind of like a nice equalizer. Everybody is playing on the same playing field card wise, and also again because we've got these big collections. When we finish our decks, it's like okay, we can pick our cards and go. I need this. I need this. I need this. And then you just take all the other cards. You go to a new player. You go, yeah, have them.
Yeah.
It's like I'm here to play the game, and these are the cards I need. You're a new player. I want to keep you in the community. I want this community to grow. Take these cards, build a deck.
Yeah, and it's a way for those new players to just sort of get some cards in their hands, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're going to go away with however 6 packs worth of cards, whatever happens, and they still get to play in the tournament. So, yeah, no, I think it's,
yeah.
making limited more accessible than Universe is only ever going to be.
I don't want to. I personally, I don't want to see like RLEs or nationals go sealed just yet. But I think provisionals are kind of okay.
I mean, high level sealed is very, very good. It's a lot of fun. But the
It,
grassroots aren't there, right?
yeah, if we did, I think it'd be like the old. I don't know if Magic still does it, but I know they did Swiss, then they did a sealed, then they went back to constructed or something along those lines. So I wouldn't mind doing say 7 rounds of Swiss, getting to your top 8, securing your HLC invite at nationals, and then going cool. You're all qualified. You're now just playing for the title as well as the extra promos. We're gonna do this sealed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like the Pro Tours, right? Magic, the sort of the Magic Pro Tours, they're usually like day one. It's like 4 rounds of constructed, then 3 rounds of draft. Then day two is 3 rounds of draft, 4 rounds of constructed.
Yeah,
Is how they usually do it.
and
So
I think that would be pretty cool as a way to do it, and it would force a lot more people to get better at draft and seal because I've honestly only played 2 sealed events of this game, which was the
yeah,
preview at Vegas and then the pre-release. But my background history in Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh kind of goes over, which is a case of you just build aggressive. But we'll go over that a little bit later on, yeah, like
yeah.
closer to pre-release. But let's have a chat about Class Reunion. It is delayed in the EU, so we haven't got any cards that we can show you. Unfortunately, we did get a nice email from Jasco, and I do thank Jasco for acknowledging at least that there was a delay. But hopefully we can get this out soon. But someone has put up a graph last week of how many actual packs you need to buy on average to completely get every single pack, which I thought was quite interesting. Monetarily wise, I did work this out. So if you're buying the 6 promo pack, you only need to buy, what was it, 15 boxes to be guaranteed to have one complete playset of each one. But if you buy the 4 packs, you need to get at least 25 packs. Monetarily wise, you're still in the green going for the 4 packs over the 6. I think
Yeah, I mean the 6 obviously gives you all the other gumps to go
yeah,
with it. I mean, I'm not going to be buying infinite amounts of them to get play sets. It's like I'll probably buy one of the big boxes when it comes out, maybe a small box or something. Because obviously at this point, I don't really need set 4 packs, right?
no.
Um, so I'll probably buy one of the big boxes and then try and pick up singles as and where I can, which is obviously I'm in the UK, so it's bloody tricky. Um, but
I mean,
I,
if
I just I'd like to at least get one of each, just from a sort of collector's
yeah,
perspective. Um, and then yeah, I'm just trying to think like a lot of most of those cards are sort of they feel a bit fringe, so I don't feel like a lot of them I'm going to need. The main ones being the actions, like Runaway, for example, is a card I can certainly see myself wanting a playset of. Masterminding, I can certainly see myself wanting 2 to 4 of those. Futures now is probably in one or two or three, but obviously
Yeah.
those are easy enough to get.
Oh yeah, we see it coming every pack. It's going to be a case of it's going to be really easy to get hold of futures now.
Yeah, and then but like none of the attacks really blow my mind to the point where I really do want them.
Blazing Icicle has kind of got its way into my heart. Uh, it's not a Chaos card, which makes me sad. It's a Water Fire, Order Fire, but it just feels like a great card to lock my opponent down.
Yeah,
Uh,
it seems solid.
yeah,
Again, that might be one of the ones I want multiple copies of, but
but
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it's just one of those ones where I'll just get them as and when and not worry too much about it.
Class reunions being open on such mass that I was talking to a guy on Discord in the discussion channel, and he was saying he has so many futures and now and stuff like that, he's going to his locals just to give them away. And I think that's going to be a similar sort of situation where people are
Yeah,
going to be chasing down the actions that they're going to have so many of these bulk rares going on there because there is still rarity within them. There's the chase rares and there's the bulk rares. I think getting hold of singles is going to be a great way of going around it. But if I found a deal I shared with you guys after I made my deal that hopefully I've bought the six card packs ridiculously cheap, but it's still a great price for the 4-pack charts. But
I don't think they're going to honour that. I don't think they've got any reason to do that.
the only reason they've got to do it is because in the item description it was the full description of the 6-pack cards.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any legal reason for them to do it. I think they can just say this was a mislisting. Sorry, we're going to refund you.
So yes, that's the only way they can get around it. Is a simple case of we can give you this product for the price, or we can refund you and you can order again. And it's case of, yeah, you've got me there. They don't have to honour sending me the stuff out. They can't just go, here's a refund.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing. But yeah, I thought this chart was a bit interesting. I'd like to see more sort of.
I've also heard some things about some weird collation issues with them, right? In that they're very print run ish. So it's
Oh, I've not seen anything along
yeah.
that.
So whereas like you could in theory just like they're not really random. There's print runs within them, so you could like in theory like open three big boxes and get the same in each one of them.
Oh,
Like I know there's like that chance anyway, but I think there is a print run like collation thing going
so
on with these.
it's kind of like procedural generated randomness rather than true randomness.
No, I don't even think it's random. I think that's the problem is that there's a print run on
Yeah.
it, as
So
in
so you can be like, if I see these 2 cards first, then I know the next 3 cards are gonna be this.
exactly yeah.
But then at least we're gonna be able to trade them. Like we're gonna it opens up a bit more going like that, and they are really nice cards.
Yeah,
I'm not too bothered about the dice and the sleeves, but I know.
I mean, I like the idea of the product. I don't like the idea of the mechanically unique promos, shock
No,
horror. And I think this is the last time we'll see something similar to that.
well, it
I
wasn't.
think,
They weren't supposed to be, were they? It was supposed to. I think originally it was meant to be a holiday run promotion that was just all art cards, sleeves, and dice. But it got
yeah,
changed to mechanically unique promos at last minute.
yeah. So I think, especially with the way they've gone with the getting rid of DLCs, getting rid of quirk packs, and that, I think this product does not make sense in that world. So we'll have to see if they do another one in say like another 4 sets time or
yeah.
what have you.
We might as
I
well.
also think the only thing that obviously the promos aside, for it being a class union box, I think it should have been packs of set one, packs of set two, packs of set three, packs of set four, like
Yeah.
a goodie box of it rather than just set four.
When it was announced as class reunion, I thought it was going to be alt art cards of established attacks and foundations, but using art of like one of the teaser images that was originally there of Aizawa and Mike's days in the class. So
Yeah, like yeah, if these were just like alt arts and some packs and all the other buff gumph, I don't think they would sell any less, and I think they'd be a lot better received
yeah,
because people like their bling, right? They like their shiny,
exactly.
and
They
They
wouldn't.
like
They
stuff.
wouldn't be demanding them to be on redemption. They wouldn't be anywhere near. They'd still be bought, but they wouldn't be anywhere near as sought after immediately. They'd make great gifts because if you could
Mhm.
get a Class 1A president and it was Endeavour in a UA uniform, I think that would still go. If you got Bonds of Friendship and it was President Mike, uh, Aizawa, and the guy that spoilers becomes Kurigiri, that
Um,
would be that they would still sell because they've got that unique aspect to them, and it would get collectors and anime only fans that play the game after them for the uniqueness of them.
yeah, I mean, there's always that problem of like them getting art approved, right?
Yeah,
Which we know is an issue, just because of how restrictive the IP holder are with regards to actually getting art approved through them. So, um, yeah, that might have been the blocker in that they had these grand plans and then they just couldn't get the art approved in time. Like it might be something as daft as that, you know.
yeah.
So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't think these will be in the same form going forward.
No, I think this is the first and last time we see it in this kind of iteration. If we see anything similar to this for moving forward, it will just probably be all art cards with a similar sort of a theme of dice and
Yeah,
updated sort of situation. So moving on to upcoming events, we have uh, Kansas City Regional coming up. I
yeah,
am really hyped. I saw Nate DeWalt put a post up on Facebook talking about how participation is around 80. I know some people joined up after his post. I put a little comment on there going, "Ooh, are we going to have a higher participation in the UK than Kansas City? Because that would be that would be a nice boost for the EU side of it." Uh,
it would, but also probably even worse would be the knock on effect on the US audience, right?
yeah,
With them saying they're only getting a small one. So I actually want it to get to 200, like,
I don't think he'll get to 200, and
just for the health of the game, you know.
well, you got to remember they have 3 regional lessons exam plus the
Yeah,
webcam exam, which is friendly to those guys. So essentially, they've got 4 they can take part in, which is really really good. But I want to see it get up there. I want to see it get to the same numbers, if not higher, than EU, than Kissimmee, and same with Pasadena, same with the webcam. I think we're going to see a lot of Giros represented, but I don't think we're going to see
yeah,
that. I don't think we're going to see that many get into the top cuts. It's not going to be like an Ojiro Kirishima one situation where we get 18 show up and like there's 8 in the top 16. I think people have played against Jiro enough, and I don't think Jiro is as big. Unpopular opinion, hot take coming in. I don't think Jiro is as big a problem as people say moving forward. I played against Grant in the RLE, and it was a very close game, even as me being a 7-hander and 6-hander. I think we have the tools to beat Jiro. I just think that the people complaining about Jiro are not building with a meta in mind. They're building with I'm going to kill you in mind.
um, yes and no. I think Jiro's probably a little too good. I haven't really seen too much of like the sort of the boogeyman, right? The future is now
Yeah,
Jiro, and that part of that class reunion promos availability thing might be putting people off going to Kansas. Um, and worries about it just being this stupid Strike Giro deck and it just being ruined by that. Um, Again, that might be putting people off.
I mean,
I don't know, like, because like the All Might 4 deck, right? The True Form. I think that was like the boogeyman and everything, but I
oh,
think
definitely.
it's good, but is very beatable and very inconsistent, so it's fine. Um, and I wonder whether actually the Staff Strike Giro thing just falls into that category of it's quite inconsistent
Yeah,
and it's quite beatable.
that that's the
Um,
thing. Even as a 50 card deck, seeing the futures now and Staff Strike early enough for it to make a difference is a big factor. You've also got to take into account that even if you go futures now, foundation, Staff Strike, it'll be an unblockable 8 damage attack, but you've got to pass all those foundations and then also pass the 6 check Staff Strike, as well as setting up I have to have a weapon foundation be one of those as well
Yeah,
in order to get the combo. There's a lot of pieces, and I think if it pops off, it'll be great, but it will have the same consistent issue as to why Staff Strike isn't in the meta. And yeah, the All Might 4 deck is a massive boogeyman. When I was building my RLE deck, I took out Cool Student, I took out Nothing to See Here, I had Confused in the sideboard because I did not want to get caught out by that deck. I didn't want to sit there and go, I now have 4 foundations on my board that do nothing because I can't take momentum. Luckily, I never faced against one, but just knowing that there's this deck that if I take momentum, I die, completely changed how I built my deck moving forward for the RLE.
yeah, and I think that's sensible. Like I say, I think it's beatable. I mean, to be honest, IER Giro might be a bigger problem than the Starfright Giro.
Yeah. It's
But
explosive leash Giro is a big issue, and I know a lot of people are now sideboarding Nomu just to counteract the Giro.
well, it kind of beats both those decks, right? They don't get to just kind of fling a 30 damage attack at you because you just laugh at them.
Yeah.
So, like, there's definitely options, but I just wonder whether that's sort of, there's been a lot of portrayal as them as boogeymen, and I wonder if that's put people off. But
This is
I don't know. I think it's just a wait and see what happens at Kansas.
This is the second event we're seeing since the Ojo ban, and we had 2 Giros make it to the top cut of Sheffield, with one going out to Shiki 3 in the top 8. Was it? Yeah, top 8, and then one going on to win it all, going completely undefeated. If we see a similar thing happen here, where this one Giro comes in and just goes completely undefeated, then we might see, with the now monthly updates, we might see some changes come. But I don't think the changes will be to Giro, it'll be to her package. Something like Instant Explosive Release getting banned, because I've built a Dabby deck just around Instant Explosive Release, and it does dumb things. If you can guarantee your first attack hits, you can pop off with Instant Explosive Release.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they try and what they do, if they do anything. But yeah, I think it's definitely a wait and see. I think just Giro has always been there and thereabouts, and everything else around her has got hit, and she's always remained untouched. So
it's the consistency. But as we get more cards, as we get bigger, we've got the Nejiri charge attack that if it gets blocked gives you plus to your check equal to the amount of attacks blocked. I think that's going to be nuts in Giro. If you play it so if you go Jolt into Instant Explosive Release into Spiral, you then go, okay, it's a 4 mid 6, then if you block it, my next attack gets +2 +3. Then you go Double Jab Pummel. This is a 3 mid for 8, that if my next check gets +2 and I get to cycle, it means you're committing less to keep stringing.
Yeah. Again, I don't know. I feel like it's quite a tight package as it is, and it's like what you take out to put it in, really.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's definitely more of a niche pick, and I'm famous for playing meme cards and meme decks, so I can't comment on what an actual good deck will be playing.
Well, I mean, we're going to obviously spend the rest of the time. We'll talk about the rest of the set 5 cards and how they either do or don't work with Double Jab Pummel. So,
so moving on from that, I've tried to get them into some kind of order. It wasn't easy and it wasn't fun, but I do believe they're in some kind of order now. I've taken out what we've already gone over, so move forward. Start off with Crystal Sword Cutter. It's a slam weapon, 4 mid 4, 4 cost, 3 check, all evil water. Enhance, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Your rival commits 1 foundation for each copy of Crystal Sword Cutter in your discard pile. Seems decent.
Just a bad heroic strike.
I mean, yeah, the fact it's slam and weapon goes very well with his own abilities. The fact it's slam goes very well into a Selkie deck, and being.
But like, let's like most of the time it's going to be like maybe one at best, and like a 4 mid 4 stun one. For, nah, pass.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Unless you really want, unless you really need things that are milling, self milling, right?
Yeah.
But
It's one of the things that you can also late game it'll be a lot more powerful because you just can not take momentum. But Crystal Chokeslam, 5 cost, 2 check, 1 mid for 5, all evil water, slam throw. If this attack deals damage, your next attack this turn gets plus X speed, X equals damage dealt. If your rival has 10 or less health, you may play this from your discard pile as your next form. If its printed difficulty is 4 or less and it shares 2 symbols, you may play a card from your discard pile as your next form if its printed difficulty is 4 or less and it shares 2 symbols with your starting character. That's decent.
yeah, I just question whether it's decent enough for the 2, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's assume you're not pumping it, so you're doing 3 damage and giving your next attack +3 speed. That's fine, but obviously this is very easily blocked, very easily face shielded, and like that 10 or less health is decent. But again, I just don't feel like that is a card I want to play the 2 for. I might be wrong, but it just yeah.
I can't really see any characters that can abuse it. The one speed is quite bad, but I mean, you throw that into if you can boost the damage up though, you can make
Yeah,
your next attack really powerful, and if you can get them low enough to get access to that second ability, you essentially add an additional to your hand size, or you can build a foundation and keep going, and go into defensive. I think this is a card I'd sideboard in against 7-handers. Just
yeah.
pure,
I mean, more throws in general are good against 7 handers,
yeah.
right? Just because they don't have any health. But yeah, it seems decent enough, but I just don't like it for the 2. I don't think it's good enough for the 2, but I might be wrong.
No, that makes perfect sense. Crystallize, uh, Foundation, 2 cost, 5 check, 2 low block, which I always love my low blocks. Enhanced commit. If this attack deals 2, if this attack gets 2 damage. If you have 10 or less health, it gets 1 damage. Response: remove after this foundation is destroyed during the combat phase. Your rival's next check gets -2. Your rival's next attack gets -2 damage.
Uh, Solid. I mean, it's in that kind of that same sort of cycle of cards of commit for 2 damage and then possibly get 1 extra, like Harden and whatever it is.
Yeah. I like.
Again, it's a 2. There's a lot of competition for 2s, right? The response remove is nice if you're destroying your own stuff.
Oh, if he gets destroyed through Evil Gaze or Shigaraki 1.
Yeah, or you're just blowing it up to like a brute strength
I
or
guess
something
Shigaraki 1
lines.
isn't. Yeah, Shigaraki 1's not going to be that big of an issue, but yeah.
Or like a release, or if it doesn't
Yeah.
shows symbols of release, but that sort of thing. So, yeah, seems okay. But it's just like if you need,
We were talking about before. Seems like a decent sealed card.
yeah, yeah, because like again, that's the thing in like sealed, right? You need damage.
So let's
Like
move.
that's usually the biggest thing in sealed is you just want damage.
Let's move over to the best XR in the set. Izuku Midoriya 4.
Probably, yeah.
We haven't seen the SRs yet, but yeah, they went too hard on this art.
Yeah, well, he's the poster child, right?
Yeah.
They have to, probably very much contractually.
5-hander, 30 health. Enhance your non-throw attack with Fury Punch gains 4 powerful 4. You may discard a card from your hand in addition to momentum to pay for its powerful cost. Powerful ability. Response: at the start of your rival's combat phase, draw 3 cards and then discard down to your hand size.
And obviously, if you want to learn more about this character, go watch Mr. Duckworth's amazing article
Yep.
up on the old main site.
I do like
as I'm a company man.
I do like looking at the old versions and how one had the lose condition is like when you go to cycle the
Yeah.
first time you lose, and it was great getting an insight into the developer's mind as to how cards get balanced. So I do recommend going and having a look at Mr. Duckworth's article on the main My Hero Academia website. But yeah, this is the card that most people have been hyped for since Tam revealed it.
Yeah, he seems good. I mean, just sort of being a secret 8-hander, kind
Yeah,
of.
it's
Like obviously that draw 3 is like you don't. The only downside is you obviously don't know what block zones you're drawing or what blocks or whatever you're drawing. So, but yeah,
but you're on good in life, so you can still draw more anyway.
yep,
And the thing when I saw All For One's ability, the thing I was most excited for is if I lose the dice roll, I'm still technically getting some advantage here because I get to put
yeah,
one
yeah,
into momentum and it acts like a free review. Izuku gets to do that 3 times. He gets
yeah,
to go, oh cool, I'll draw 5, I'll draw 3, discard these 3, and then go, I'll draw an additional 1, oh cool, blah 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 blah. As soon as he was revealed, I said, this is the reason Ready Get Set Go was actually banned, and no one can change my mind. Because drawing 8
yeah,
cards,
yeah,
you're pretty much guaranteed to see Ready Get Set Go, and if you go to your opponent, I'll draw 8, cool, I'll discard these 3, then go, Ready Get Set Go, new training method, play my entire hand, draw 6, play 5, play these 6, draw 3, I'm at 10 foundations on my first turn with 3 cards in hand to defend. Good luck.
yeah. I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Like, I mean, it was probably just a bit like just obnoxious anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be even more
Yeah.
so with this guy.
I've done it myself. I played against a snipe player when I was visiting family, and he played 4, and I just immediately went, ready, gets it, go, build 2, but response off, new training method, building this foundation. Ready, gets it, go, check a foundation, flip, new training method, add it to hand, build these 2. I now built you in your own turn. It's it's one of those things that it's not the most consistent thing in the world, but when you pop it off, it gives you such an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Izuku just gets that even more, and one of the more squishy 5-handers, but
that's because he's sort of not really a 5-hander,
no,
right?
he's very defensible. In playtesting, he was a 6, as we saw.
Yeah.
And yeah, the powerful 4.
Obviously, he's keyword gated, but good. Obviously, has all the good punches. Yeah. Life has decent punches. You know, it's got back alley.
That's
Void.
You also have the right of refusal, where you can give each one of your attacks the powerful 4, but you don't have. It's not. You have no cost to that. So
No.
you go back alley maker. I'll give it powerful 4. I don't have to discard this. So if a good player will pick up on if you're actually going to try and block this by what you're reserving, or could go, okay, stun 2, then discard a card to one with nature, discard a card for powerful 4, discard a card. I'm now going to make you block this for the cost of 2 cards. Then I'm going to play my next attack and play Texas Smash, get up to a 7, get up to an 11. I've got no cards in hand. Cool. Passing the torch. It can get very dumb very quickly, and I think it's going to be another not very consistent character, but if it draws hot, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, no, he's cool and very good, and yeah, the X cards will look really, really good. I do wonder whether actually Deku 2 is still going to be better.
That's what, as you were saying on Void, he does get access to Gran Torino stuff as well.
Yeah.
You just want to see you in the corner.
No. Don't look at me.
Robin's come down to play Overwatch 2.
I'm not being paid.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Let's move on. Plummeting Punch. 4 cost, 3 check, 3 high for 4. Fury Punch. Enhance, flip 1 foundation. This attack gets +2 speed, changes its attack zone to low. Deadlock Enhance, lose 1 health, flip 1 rival foundation, commit 1 rival foundation, destroy 1 rival foundation. Good, needed decent deadlock. Not as decent deadlock.
Yeah, it's got a nice low block on it.
A very good low block.
Yeah, flip a foundation to give it 2 speed, changing it to low. Seems good. Again, it's like a nice little common attack. If we need a low block, like it's a good little filler. Nothing particularly exciting, but
I could see this being run in a Think Fast deck.
Mm.
Because it's got voice, you just slam it into a Think Fast, you slam it into a Void 0-1. Go, yeah, cool, it's changed zones. Give it +1/+1. I'll change it back to a high.
Yeah. Easy.
Let's put that. Keeping Gary safe. A new 0.
Because the world needs more zeros.
0 cost, 5 check, 2 mid block. This is it can't be fixed light. Response was returned after this card is committed due to a rival's effect. Ready it. Playable while committed.
Yeah, it's a fixed. It can't be fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also sparked the debate as to whether it can't be fixed is going to get banned because this is being introduced.
Yeah, I mean it's different symbols, right?
Well, it's got 2 different symbols, but yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it can't be fixed is probably okay.
Life didn't really need stun hate as much, but Void definitely did. It's only really had Gotcha for a long time.
Yeah.
Void's got resistance and the Kirishima stuff. Yeah, so
yeah. Yeah, it's just a solid 0, right? It's a solid stun hate 0. Unexciting, but like you're probably if you need some zeros, you're gonna play it.
Yeah, it's a case of it's a 2 mid block, which is always helpful. It's a 0, and it's one of those things that a case of cool back alley, keeping Gary safe. You're not gonna be able to do anything about that now.
Yeah.
Before I just move on to that as well, it does say Rivals Effect because like if you could commit that to villains defeated and then have it immediately be ready, that'd be nuts. But no, it definitely says Rivals Effect.
So yeah, we got Quirk Restored.
Yeah.
The next one up.
Quirk Restored, 3/4, 2 mid block unique form. If you have 25 or more cards in your discard, you may play 1 attack in your discard pile that shares 3 symbols with your starting character as your next form. Hojo Enhance. Discard the top card of your deck. If this card was an attack, this attack gets +1 damage or -1 damage.
Don't like it.
Yeah, no.
I mean, so it's like Scouting the Forest, that stupid foundation in set 4, and all that sort of thing, which is like the form, it's like a 3 diff form remove, maybe effectively draw a card on a 4 check unit. No, I'm off it. Even if I'm Hojo, I'm probably off it.
It works well with Hojo because of you wanted to fill the self mill strategy. But to me, the 25 or more cards in your discard, as well as the 3 symbol matching, is too many restrictions.
And it's a 4 check, and it's a 3 diff, and it's unique. I'm off it.
Yeah, it's a remove cost as well, so it's not like a once per turn form cost. If it was 25 or more cards in your discard, or it shares 3 symbols in your starting character, I could get behind it. But the fact it has to be both, as well as a remove cost, just seems a little bit too far to me. I don't think that's a good sealed card. I think that's just a, if I have to play it in the sealed, I will.
No, I'll just play a buddy block.
It appears I messed up a little bit with Quick Stop. Here we go. Practical Studies. A 1 cost, 1 difficulty 5, 3 high block. Enhance. If your rival has not lost life this turn, your attack gets +1 speed. Deadlock Enhance. Your turn. Commit seal 1 rival asset or foundation. Your attack gets +3 speed. So this is perfect for Deku 4 with the increased damage. but I like I like the enhance. It feels a bit like the classroom introductions. If I'm not dealing damage to you, then all my attacks are getting +1 speed. You need to take at least one attack to stop this.
Yeah, it's decent. Like it just says, I'm like it's almost a 3+1 on your first attack, so it's like, it's doing exactly as much as Easily Excited's doing. But if they take the first one, then it does exactly the same, and it's only like a 1 diff.
Yeah.
It's just a really good little spam. It's got a nice deadlock on it.
If
Yeah.
I was running brute strength and I saw my opponent had that every single turn, I'm just taking one to give this attack +1 damage, and then you cannot be buffing up your speed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's move on to Nedry Wave. 4 cost, 3 check, 4 mid 4. If this attack gets +2 damage for each attack your opponent has blocked this turn, Fury ranged, Air, Chaos, Life. It's decent. Not much else to get it. I like Chaos. It's got Fury, it's got range, so it'll fit into Chaos range package, it'll fit into Air Fury packages. It's pretty. I've got no notes. Decent card.
Yeah, the biggest part here is that response, right? Discard momentum for stun 3 is really good. Like you usually will pay, like you'll pay that for on your giant ice walls to give your next attack stun 2, and that's just an immediate discard momentum stun 3, and it's before like your response. It's your response window, right? So you play it, and it's not enhanced. So if they've got a specialist of sound, but they've only got 3 foundations, you nab their specialist of sound. Obviously, it's costly with the momentum, but it's powerful.
Exactly.
And then playing it a bit, but it's sort that kind of goes at odds with the top enhance, right? So you want to be playing that discard momentum early to commit them out, but that top enhance says you want to be playing it late. But then I've just remembered that bottom response works on block as well.
Yes. After you play it. No, it's after you play this attack, not this card.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say after you play this play. So because it says after you play this attack, but
you can't use it. You can't use it on defense. It has to be when you play this card.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if it was playable on block, it would say after you play this card.
So the way I remember it is instant shining flash. Yeah, instant shining flash and special sound with say response after you play this card. But final exam gut shot says after you play this attack. Because if you could use final exam gut shot on defense, I would be running it in every single deck.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm less interested now just because they're quite at odds. Those first 2, it's either some damage if they block some or +3 speed effectively. I suppose even as like a second attack, right? You play an attack, they block it, and then you play the second one +2 damage, stun 3. Yeah.
I could see it's making its way into a ranged all for 1 package because you get you get your momentum, you wealthy aspirations get a second momentum. Giant ice wall, my next range attack gets stun 2, you stun 2. If they block it, cool. Nedry Wave's going to get +2. If they don't block it, then it's going to be a 4. It's going to be a 4x however foundations. But you've stunned 2. Nedry Wave response to discard momentum, stun 3. First enhance, stun 2. You have stunned 7 cards off 2 attacks. Yeah, it's a bit of a magical Christmas land, but using characters like All for One, like Pixie Bob, you can pull that off.
Yeah, I think I don't know for certain, but this card seems decent.
Yeah, that was just my initial reaction. It's a decent card. I got. So if I'm talking too much, do let me know. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, you're all good, buddy.
Next one is Nedry-chan of the Big Three. 1/5, 2 high, enhanced destroyable foundation. This attack gets +1 damage. If it deals damage, gain 1 health. Love it.
It's just your standard lock breaker, right? If you need a lock breaker on those symbols, it's a lock breaker.
Yeah,
easy as.
It's the health game for me. Absolutely love that because Chaos has got a lot of guaranteed damage with things like jolts, with throws, with a lot of times spamming a singular zone.
Well, it just means you're always getting something from the transaction, right? You're either getting the damage through or you're gaining a health. But the main thing is it's a lot breaker, it's a spam, it's got a reasonable high block on it. Like, that's why you're playing that card.
We've got Levitate, 2/5, 2 high block. Response once per turn. After you block with a foundation, draw 1 card and discard 1 card. Enhance, discard momentum, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a foundation. Add it to your hand. Yeah. It's a long way of saying just draw a foundation, but yeah.
Yeah, discard momentum to draw a foundation, which I suppose then you can block with, and obviously I think she does things with blocking with foundations. Yeah, probably it's a Nijiri card, really. Like, yeah. And obviously...
I mean, sorry, I'll let you finish.
No, I'm just thinking, like momentum's a steepish cost to draw a foundation.
I could see Muscular Life running this because you block with you can partial block with a foundation, draw a card, discard a card, build it down.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, the response, like adding a bit of looting onto stuff is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not overly convinced on this one. I think maybe you want to play in her because you want to be digging for those foundations for blocking with and stuff. But yeah.
The only other one I could see this going into is Shoto 1. So just filling up that discard with attacks, getting your Azores online, getting your Zero Gravity Lifts nice and big, and just digging for foundations early to even just review them away if you don't block with them, but getting attacks in your discard, getting them off the top of your deck.
Yeah, but like, you know, half the time it's just going to be put the top card of your hand in your top card of your deck in your hand, right? On life, you'd rather play Destined than this card, I think.
Jay Alexander says, all for one with card pool works very nicely with it, which, yeah, does make sense. It replaces itself.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, looting's a nice enough effect. It's just whether you know, especially when you're blocking, like how many cards have you got in hand to know what you're trying to dig for.
So the thing that takes me away from it is Ochako 3. Ochako 3 has the exact same ability on any block, and you get +1 to your next check, and doesn't see play. It's a very, very powerful character ability, and it's very similar to what we're seeing here, but doesn't see play just because you're not guaranteed to see a block you can use, and it's because it's on block, you don't know what your next opponent attack's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's like, you know, I've got 2 cards in hand. I block with a foundation. I've got 1 card in hand. I then draw 1. What one am I discarding? I think mainly that's a nice to have almost, and it's whether that bottom enhance is actually good for you.
If it was response card pool, like enhanced card pool, discard. If you've blocked, just discard a card, draw a card. Then I could see that being a lot better. But because you're then going, I haven't got a way to block this. I'll discard a card, draw a card. Then that's a bit more nice on the looting.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a randomized ability. It's great for Nedry, and it's probably going to be great for more niche plays. But as a standalone card, it's not that exciting.
It's mid.
Larceny, we're getting into the ones that we went through a lot of last time. If this one cost 5 check, 2 low block on all evil void. If this attack was played from anywhere other than the hand, it gets +1 or -1 damage. Yeah. Great sealed card because it's a great sealed card because of the +1 -1 from as a defensive option, but seems to work great with the mechanics
of
the bullets.
Yeah, and again, it's got a nice low block. It's decent spam. I think if you're doing that thing, then that's a good thing to have, right? and you're probably going to want to, consider this in that like one diff low block slot because it's just sort of a free button, right?
Exactly. There's not that many good evil low blocks, and this seems like a very decent one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you just have to be doing the thing.
Human Garbage, which weird name for a card.
Mm-hmm.
1 cost, 5 check, 3 high block, ally.
We need more allies.
Enhance once per turn. Remove 1 copy of Human Garbage from your discard pile. Readiness Foundation. Playable welcome it.
This is garbage. Let's get to the end.
Yeah,
it's garbage. Like
I like it, but
I don't
it doesn't really fit with the ally sort of mentif. But
like basically. Okay, you play 4 copies, right? You never want to see more than one of these in play because you always want to effectively mill the other 3 or check the other 3. Like drawing extra copies of these is terrible because you want them in your discard pile, so you definitely have to block with them. And like once per turn, removing once, like a lot of the time, this is just going to be a blank foundation, and sometimes you might get it off. I'm probably never registering this card.
If it shared symbols with self-sacrifice, with release, with ways to utilize having multiple copies. So if I had 2 committed and I was able to reliably destroy one to ready the other, I could see that going out. But I'm sure I think there's not many ways on these symbols to consistently destroy your foundations and ready them back up.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like readying is powerful, but you're only readying effectively a blank foundation. Like the power level in stuff like requesting assistance is that A, it's sort of free, and B is it means you get to ready your heroic lineages or ready your good foundations. The fact that you could ready a requesting isn't really the point. It's the fact that you get to ready the good foundations. Like readying foundations is powerful in general, but it's effectively readying a face down. And quite often you're just never going to be able to do it.
That's right. I could see this played in a Dark Shadow Behemoth deck, which would need you to have lots of allies in your discard and stuff like that. Just as a
Does it even share symbols?
Doesn't
have chaos, so it doesn't really care about allies.
It's a weird one to have an ally tag.
It's garbage.
Yeah, it literally says it is.
Yeah.
Fat Gum! Everyone was except for Fat Gum. You may build Fat Gum 2 character cards. Enhance, commit, reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Build 1 foundation or asset revealed face up. Discard the rest. First form, if you are in deadlock or have 10 or less health, search all your game zones for a copy of Fat Gum 2 and build it. If you search your deck, shuffle it. 29 health, 5-hander, earth, fire, good.
Okay, well, before we talk about it, we'll have a look at what Fat Gum 2 does. That we'll have a look in a minute, I guess. That top enhance is fine. Obviously, you can whiff. It's unlikely, but you can certainly whiff on that. 29 health is kind of low for a 5-hander. Oh, power of technology.
Yeah, Fat Gum 2. This character cannot be your starting character. When you build this card, it becomes your starting character. Draw 3 cards and remove all copies of Fat Gum 1 from your stage. Now, people point out that this makes a issue because it says it cannot be your starting character, but then says it becomes your starting character. But it cannot be your starting character.
Sure, I mean, like you can rules lawyer it all as you want, but like honestly, everyone knows what it's supposed to do. So everyone that's trying to argue that there's a loop here needs to just shut up and get back in the hole. Frankly.
The same rules lawyers that are doing this are the same rules lawyers that were trying to say that ultimate combination doesn't really work. So But
you just need to go away.
Enhance twice per turn, discard 1 card, flip and commit 1 rival foundation.
Very powerful.
Yes. Remove 2 foundations. This attack gets +1 speed and +3 damage.
Yeah, I mean, like this is okay. I'm just going to have to kill you very, very quickly now. So having his face give you like Yeah, you basically need to go first form, kill you this turn,
Yeah, pretty
right?
much. You're basically going, I am happy to sacrifice my entire board, my entire hand, everything, because you are dying this turn.
Yeah, because you've just drawn 3 more cards. So you're an 8-hander that turn. You can, flip and commit their best things. Remove your you commit to do stuff, but remove your stuff. So like you're just burning everything to try and kill them that turn. This guy's cool. I don't think he's very good.
I'm just trying. I think he's going to be fun to play, and I'm sure people are still going to play him because I know there's a lot of people talking about him. I'm just trying to think. You can respond to abilities before the ability takes effect. So if you try to Fat Gun 2 a saving Bakugo, you could unflip it and draw your card before it got committed.
I don't know how that interaction works. Also, this card should have been a flip card. This should have been a dual face card. Because he's sort of, unless you kind of get lucky, I guess, and get both 1 and 2 in like your sealed pool or draft them or whatever, then obviously he's unplayable. So just having a character that's 90% of the time unplayable in limited is sort of a bit feels bad. I appreciate doing dual face cards is not a small task, and is obviously it's his own thing. But I think this would have played a lot better as a dual face card.
You got to think, say, out of the hundreds of packs that are going to be opened and hundreds of sealed pools that are going to be done over June, one person is going to open all 6 packs and have all Fat Gum 2s. I'm like, oh, cool, I don't get to play the game.
Yeah.
It's going to happen to one person.
I'd say it's the chances of having 6 Fat Gum 2s are like astronomically low. Just because of just the way print runs tend to work and collation tends to work. I'd say it's so low to the point of being impossible.
We also don't know how because it's new pre-release packs, so it might be one of those things that if you see Fat Gum 2, you're guaranteed to see Fat Gum 1 in your pre-release pack.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, just in general on the character, I think he's cool. He does some fun things. Happy to be proven wrong that he's actually good, but I don't think he is.
I think he's going to be a lot of fun, and people are going to have a lot of fun playing with him, especially on the Earth symbol.
He does get to commit and build during the opponent's turn, I suppose. But yeah,
But for me, it's more I would have a lot of fun playing this at locals, but I don't know if I'd take it to a big event.
No. This card looks good.
Yes. Do you want to go for it then?
Yeah, so calorie counter. So it's a 6 difficulty, 3 check, 2 low block, Earth Fire good, Fury Punch. It's a 3 mid for 6, but importantly has a static of if your last attack this turn was blocked, this attack gets a -3 difficulty and +2 speed, and has an enhanced if attack is blocked, gain 2 health and flip a Royal Foundation. This is just a bit of a if you're playing a Fury / Punch build on these symbols, I think this feels a little auto included because a 3 diff 5 for 6, if they block it, gain 2 and flip 1 with a 2 low block, a Fury and Punch, seems really good.
I was gonna say, would you throw this into your Prominence Burn decks?
Possibly.
Because you go attack, they block it, you go cool. You play Prominence Burn.
So this is sort of fighting the slot of Hellflame Stomp, right? That's my low block slot in the deck. So the question is this better than Hellflame Stomp? Don't know. Just because it's an off-zone attack, but that's the sort of slot it's going for. Like maybe you want it more punch builds. You go jab, and you put some damage on it, and it's like you're gonna block, and then let me hit you with this conceivably massive calorie counter ahead.
But you could also go jab, Prometheus burn, get rid of the jab, take your 5.
Well, jab's not like I'm just thinking punches rather than furies.
Okay,
Like jab's not
but
fury.
yeah,
But I'm just thinking like if you're playing punches on good or earth, right?
yeah, it's kind of like
You're no, just jab have good. It must have good, right?
yeah, jab is good.
Yeah, like you're playing it with stuff where they're sort of inclined to block, right?
Yeah,
And jab is one of those cards that's almost always blocked because it's low speed, has a bunch of damage, and so you sort of lead off jab into this.
I mean, you can even go back alley, Texas, discard a card, and go cool. You can block this 3/7, or run the risk that I've got a 5/10 coming next.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this card's good.
Yeah.
And I would be surprised if it didn't see an amount of play on these sort of symbols.
It's a good starter, and the moment your opponent blocks, it gets even better.
But just like a 3 diff 5/6, like with a nice low block. Yeah.
Fat grapple, 5 difficulty, 3 check. It's a 2 mid for 1 throw. This attack gets +1 damage for each ready foundation on your stage, a maximum of 7. I don't like the fact they capped that, but I can understand it. Deadlock enhanced, your next attack gets +5 speed.
Yeah.
I mean, as a starting attack, it's gonna be what, a 4 to 6.
Like, would you play? Like, let's assume you get 5 out of this, right? You get the +1, you get 5. So let's assume it doesn't have that enhance. It's just a 2/6. Would you play that card?
A 2/6 throw, possibly.
On a 5 difficulty, 3 high check, no enhances, and then the deadlock.
A 2/6 throw on Midoriya 2 sounds perfect.
Doesn't his thing say non-throw? And also it's punt. It's non-punch.
It doesn't have
any keywords.
Yeah.
It's bad. I think this card's bad.
If it had punch, if it was able to combo with Midoriya 2, then maybe Midoriya 1. It's a niche card, but yeah, it's a bad card.
Yeah.
If I open this up in sealed, I'm going to be very sad.
Yeah, it's just no, bad. Skip to the next.
I love the art on this. It's 3 difficulty, 4 unique, 2 mid block, response. Once per attack, commit 1 foundation. After your rival's attack receives damage bonus from a non-character effect, that bonus gets -2, minimum of 0. Response remove. After your attack receives a speed or damage penalty to your due to your rival's effect, it gains +3 speed or +3 damage. Fat absorption.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this card. I feel like it's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like damage reduction's good. It's repeatable damage reduction, like over a string. It's it's a bit.
I don't like
best completed, right?
Yeah, I don't like the fact it's a remove cost. I think it should have been a commit cost.
What, for the bottom enhance?
For the bottom enhance. So
I think that's fine. Because it's like I want this attack to land because it's going to kill you, whatever. So that's fine.
Yeah, but if my
you're mainly playing it for that top response.
If my opponent goes heroic lineage and then I can go cool, commit heroic lineage, I go commit +3 speed. That feels like an even trade to me. But if my opponent goes commit -3 speed, I go remove +3 speed. I'm down out of that exchange.
You are sure, but like it would be too good if that was the case.
Well, it's unique, so you only get the one anyway. That's what I'm saying. If it was,
no, again, I think it's fine, especially with that top one, right? Because like that's what you're playing that card. Then the remove is almost like a niche little added benefit. The main reason you're playing this card is that top response.
Yeah, that you can reduce
and commit a foundation for -2 damage seems decent.
It's the same as it's gonna bug me out. Is it? It's not. Is it resist? It's not. Yeah, it's resistance, isn't it?
Yes, resistance. Yeah.
Yeah. commit your rival's next attack gets -2 damage. It works perfectly like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit outdated.
It's not quite the same because if they're giving it +1 damage, you don't get the -2. You're just effectively reducing it to 0. So, they have to be giving it at least +2 from enhance for it to work. But this is probably just one of those cards you play as a one-off. I don't think you're going to play
But I love the art, and I'm really excited to see this in XR.
Yeah.
Moving on to Chronostasis. 627 health form. Lose 2 health if your rival has at least 1 card in their card pool. Choose 1 breaker or tech card in your card pool and play it. Rival's turn. Choose 1 card in each player's card pool. Those cards do not leave the card pool. Leave the card pool at the end of the turn. And that's the commit cost. My only downside to this guy is the fact that it doesn't lock them in place immediately. So it's a case of your opponent can still 0 gravity lift, instant.
No, they can't. They can't. Those cards cannot leave the card pool until the start of the next turn, right?
Yeah, you cannot leave the card pool until the start. Yeah.
It doesn't say they don't go to momentum. It just says they cannot leave. So anything that would leave it like struggling with studies or forcing spend or whatever, they do not work.
Yeah,
they cannot leave.
That's a good shout about struggling with studies. I hadn't even considered that. Oof.
Seems okay.
I've not looked into the symbols, but are there many breaker tech cards on these symbols that you'd want to be playing? I guess apart from his stuff.
Ball seizing on evil, right?
And order.
And on all you've got catch readers. I don't know about the tech cards. Again, he's probably going to be a fun locals character.
Would you want to play Capture Leader-Doers? You'd have this card, you'd be playing with +1 progressive, and while you played the first 3. While you played the first 2, then you'd play Capture Leader-Doers, discard momentum, and clear your card pool. That seems really bad.
No. You just you breaker 1 them, but
because you can't do it in their turn because it's a form.
Yes.
I'm sure you could. There's electromagnetic stomp, which would be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Catch Does doesn't really work with his commit and his form, but it is a breaker on all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there are stuff. He doesn't really excite me.
I'm sure
someone will do good things with him, but he doesn't excite me.
I think the lock ability is very strong, but I don't think until there's the kit to back him up, I think he's a card that's going to get stronger as we go deeper into the game and we get more sets.
Yeah.
Well, here's a breaker. Here's a breaker right now. Point blank shot. 4 cost, 3 check, 2 high for 5. Breaker 1, powerful 2, and tech. While this card is in your card pool, your attacks get +1 speed. Your rival's attacks get -2 speed. Decent static ability. Enhance.
Yeah.
If this attack was played from anywhere other than the hand, it can only be blocked by a block modifier of 3 or greater. That's decent.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a 5/5 if you.
It's getting the without the enhance, right? It's a 3/5, right? Because it gets the static.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say other attacks.
Yeah. It says your attack, so yeah, it gets it itself. So it's a 3/5. A 3/5 high for 4 is decent. It's only without the breaker 1.
Yeah. So they're going to have a card in their card pool. You play this once, you then play it again as your form, and then get the enhance.
The only thing I don't like about Chronostasis is poke and pass turns, because then you don't get to enhance.
Yeah. Again, it's probably like a bread and butter card in him, but nothing particularly exciting. I mean, this. Obviously, it doesn't have a keyword that works with many things, but
no,
it's like I'm probably undervaluing that your rival attacks get -2 speed,
Yeah.
just as a defensive ability.
I could see this in Nomu. I could see this in evil decks that really need the speed buff. And I think this card alone could see Dark Shadow Ruin played in more evil decks. Because if you could open with this, then into Dark Shadow Ruin.
I'm just thinking more of the -2, like
Yeah.
the ruthless mockery things, type. You know,
Yeah.
this sort of like a Shiggy 3 type thing.
-2 speed to all of your rival's attacks, and you could definitely play some Shigi Free Order or Evil. Just being able to go -2 speed to all your attacks, plus
I'm drawing all the cards. I'm definitely blocking everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you overcommit in your turn as you attack, and all your attacks are very blockable. You don't really need heroic lineage and stuff as well. You can get more defensive and offensive foundations in, because as long as you've got one of these in your hand, and like you're saying, we should give you draw so much. This is a really decent bit of kit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the static is the main thing you're playing this card for. But
I think I put this one in the wrong place, but it's fine.
yeah, it's fine.
Confession 1/5 2 mid block. First enhance once per turn you attack. Your rival discards one card and draws one card. If the discarded card was not an attack, they lose 1 life. This effect cannot reduce your rival below 1. Not bad. Delic enhance flip name a card. Your rival cannot block this attack with the named card.
That's my boy Shin.
Yeah, I think I put this a bit too high up. It's meant to be a Shin card. My only begrudging is it doesn't share a symbol with Shinzo, because I think this is a kind of card that would have been nice to mess about with Shinzo as well. But
I love it.
Yeah, it's a decent card.
Like, it's just a nice spam. You know, it means they're not having to keep kind of their foundations, which tend to have higher block mod rate. You know, if they're keeping, you know, they're sort of messing around with the blocks they've got in hand.
I mean, I could easily see Def Toga running this and just being like,
yeah,
discard a card. Oh, you lost a life. I will draw one. Discard one.
Yeah, exactly, and it procs other things. Obviously, there was a meme. I think it was on Tam's Discord about this procking the zero diff that says when they draw a card, they commit a foundation. I can't remember what it's called. The Mineta Foundation.
Yeah, Desperate Times.
Desperate Times. Yeah.
It also it will also proc Excited for Blood. It'll proc. It procs a lot of
Keen
stuff.
Observation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this will be a good spam. Especially obviously in Shin or anything that's trying to kind of mess around with like what block zones you have.
Going off the radial pattern behind him, I think it'll be a very good XR.
Yes, exactly, and as I've explained, you obviously need to give me all of your Shin XRs, just so very clear.
Well, I have to see what I buy, but moving on to my.
I gave you all the. Well, I say Gabe. I traded you all the dabby ones.
Moving on to my most hyped attack of this set, Chicken Kick. Love the name. 5/3 low for 5 with a +1 low block. Kick range stun 1. If this card adds your momentum, add it face up. Enhance momentum. This attack gets +1 damage. Response after your rival passes on enhance. This attack gains 1 speed. Love it.
I think this is just whatever his name is, like the characters on his face, right?
Tamiyaki, yeah, you can just add it.
Yeah. Just because you need lots of buttons, right? Because a 0/5 is pretty bad. Like you need to be getting this to like 3 or 4. So you need lots of buttons you can press for free, which obviously he gets from his momentum abilities and stuff like that. So you need lots of durdling. You need lots of part playing and making your opponent pass.
Yeah, it's it's a 5 check that you want to play late when your opponent's committed down, so they can't. So they're just passing. But
Yeah, or forcing them to press their buttons, or else, like, I don't know. Again, I might be underestimating it, but like you almost forcing them to press their buttons on this attack. But
yeah,
Lordy, I don't really like it.
it's one of those ones that for me I'll be like, I'll release Block Foundation. Your enhance pass +1 speed.
Yeah,
Chivalrous Competitor will both draw a card. Your enhance. So I'll save all of my buttons for this one, and then I'll be like Michelangelo in the Batmobile in the TMNT Batman movie, just like, now I get to press all of the buttons.
yeah, yeah. It's fine. I think it's a card you play in him probably. Otherwise, I'm not that
I'm
interested.
not excited to play him now. I'm excited to play him in November when we have Hawks and I can play Hawks Chicken Kick and no one can stop me.
I mean, I guess that they'll probably share. I don't really know who Hawks is.
Hawks
They'll probably
is
share a similar.
the red-winged pro hero.
I mean, I know what he looks like, but I don't have any kind
If
of
they
story.
don't give Hawks air, then it's a travesty. So he's going to have at least one symbol.
Okay.
Moving on to Tentacle Grab. One mid for 3 damage, 3 check, 3 cost throw. If this card's added to momentum, add it face up. Momentum once per turn. Your rival's attack gets -1 speed. Yeah, decent. It's not great.
No, it's just a little like turn 2 poke, right? To just get buttons. Again, this is a card you probably play in Amajiki and never anywhere else.
I might play it in Dabby 1 just because it's the amount of people playing Throw Hate has dramatically dropped, and if I can go a 1 mid for 6 throw is a lot better than like if I can go into a late game. If I
The card just doesn't do enough. The card just doesn't do enough. Unless you're playing it in here and therefore you want as many buttons as you can press and all that momentum stuff. And you might even not play it in this guy. Like there might be better things you can do, but it's just such low impact.
It's not great, but it's a fun card.
I mean, it's obviously never getting blocked. It's like the freest 3 damage ever.
Yeah, it's a minimum of 2 damage unless they want to waste a anti-throw card against it.
Unless you press your buttons to pump it, they're never blocking this card.
No.
It's just guaranteed momentum, like, and that's obviously what he needs. So, like, yeah, sure.
Next we have Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken. Fury ranged, 5 cost, 3 check, 4 high 6. Goes momentum face up. Momentum once per turn. Your attack gets +2 speed. Commit and free. Enhance, commit and freeze 1 rival foundation. Enhance, commit 1 rival asset.
It's decent. Like committing and freezing a foundation, like not bad. There just isn't enough assets, obviously, that are played these days for that bottom one to be useful.
Momo 1 and I guess League of Villains is starting to see a bit more play.
There's a Battle Arena sees a little bit of play. UA High sees a little bit of play, but like it's not the world we live in where there's loads of assets floating around.
I can see it's been a decent sideboard card.
Maybe. Yeah, I think it's fine, not unexciting.
Moving on to the foundations for Tamaki now, we've got Adaptable, 2 cost, 5 check, 2 high block. Enhanced commit, your attack gets +1 speed for each of your momentum, maximum of +3. Deadlock enhance, flip, your rival loses 1 health for each of your momentum. This effect cannot be reduced than below 1. I don't think this wins out for most people in the 2-slot battle.
No. Like commit for +3 speed. How good is that? If you're getting +3 speed for a commit, it's decent enough, but obviously does very, very little to the beginning of the game. Which is what you need to get the speed for to get your momentum.
Yeah.
Like it's a powerful deadlock. like especially in him, because you can just flip to burn for like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, like however many.
But yeah, yeah, it's a common. I think it would be good
Yeah.
in sealed. I think it's a nice sealed common, but
Yeah, any foundations that are giving you stats are playable in sealed, I think.
now this one I'm hyped for, and especially in Tamaki, fast hybrid, unique, free cost, 5 check, +2 mid block, momentum. Once per turn, your next check gets +1. Form once per turn. If you have at least 1 momentum, your attacks this turn get +1 damage for the rest of the turn. Enhance. Add this card to your momentum face up. If there are any other copies of Vast Hybrid in your momentum, flip them unless your character is Amaki.
Yeah, you're probably playing this in him, right? At least 2 or 3 copies because you just want all those buttons to press. The once per turn form, just +1 damage the rest of the turn is decent.
Yeah, it's solid in all those symbols. It turns Dark Shadow Rune on in a lot of characters.
Like I wonder if you play this and then it's worth immediately just saying, okay, I'll form this turn, first enhance, sure, add this in, the next check gets +1, and I've now got this little check hack for the rest of the game.
So there's 2 characters I can see abusing this. One of which is Tamaki, because he's got
He gets to
he gets to have
lots.
he gets to have them all face up, which means he essentially can have a maximum of +4 to his checks and +4 on a block, because it's once per turn, not just your turn.
Yeah.
And he's got his once per game, which allows him to flip then unflip
Yeah.
3 foundations, which means
And obviously these, as we're seeing on these abilities, where they're once per turn and not like flip or from the foundation,
yeah,
that's why it flips it and then unflips it, because it resets it, right?
resets
It's a
his,
new,
yeah.
it's a new card.
So it means you can essentially give, if you've got 4 of these down, you could give your next check +7, which is just nuts.
Yeah.
The other one is Toga 2. Because Toga 2 lets you reveal your momentum, then flip 1 face up. So you can keep unflipping Vast Hybrids as you add them in. Which is just a little bit insane to me. I would happily run this.
Again, I think it's just like a nice, like a cheeky one-off that does a cool thing, and might well be good enough.
I really like it, and
yeah,
I've seen people talking about running things like the Dabby attack that lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then add 1 because it goes to momentum face up. Yeah, Palm Strike, because it just goes to your momentum face up. It just seems like a decent foundation that has a lot of power to it, and running it with blood transfer, there's going to be it's going to happen at least a few times where someone fully blocks blood transfer and you get Vast Hybrid for free.
Yeah, like I think that everything this is doing is powerful enough that I think some of those cards you're definitely going to be considering.
It definitely looking at the free 2 slot, I think it's powerful enough to at least warrant, like you said, a 1 over 2 of.
Yeah.
Moving on to Self Doubt, 2 low block, 1 check for 1 cost for 5. Flip after your attack deals no damage. Your next check gets +1.
Yeah, nice spam.
Yeah, nice little spam. It's a low block, so which is something like Chaos.
And it's nice that it's a response, right? It's nice that it's not like an enhance where you say, I flip, okay, sure, if this doesn't deal damage, my next gets +1, so your opponent can play around it. They know it's coming, right? But like you don't have to press the button until you need to.
But it's also one of those ones that they can see it during the enhanced step and remember it's there, but when going into the block step, they can completely forget about it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice spam, low block, solid.
Okay, moving on to is that right? Yeah, that's right. Moving on to Bubble Girl. Shane Duckworth spoiled this on YouTube. No character card for Bubble Girl yet, and I do love the history of Bubble Girl, and I do hope the fan that created Bubble Girl for the manga does get some of these cards. And I know Shane Duckworth put a little reaction of making notes for that. But I'll go into the history of Bubble Girl another time because we're still running over.
Yeah.
Free cost 5 check plus 3 low block. Commit. This attack gets plus X or minus X damage. X equals its block modifier.
So this is probably given the cards we've seen and the hints that Shane gave in his video, which you should all go watch.
Yeah.
She's obviously, I think, messing around with block mods because he
Yes.
compared her to like an old character that I can't remember the name of. So this is probably really good in her, where she's probably bumping those block mods up because attacks generally don't have high block mods. So a 3 diff to commit for like generally -2 damage isn't good enough.
No.
If you're committing for -3 or -4, then that all of a sudden gets really nice.
Exactly. It's just one of those things that it depends on how the character goes. If it's kind of like a Toru 2 situation, but for all attacks, I think that's going to be really cool. I think this could see a lot more play. A lot of people are excited. And then we also got a Bubble Girl attack. 6 cost 3 check plus 3 mid block. A 3 low for 6 damage throw. Enhance. If your rival tries to block this attack with a foundation, that block modifier gets plus 3. Response: after this attack deals damage, your rival's block modifiers get +1 for the rest of the turn. I am so glad this does not share a symbol with Azure.
Yeah, it's nice. Like obviously it's a 6 difficulty. So like this, and this is just your opener, right? This is like they can't block it with a foundation, they have to block it with an attack.
Well, they can, but it goes to a 6.
Yeah, they never block it with a foundation. Yeah, it seems solid.
And it's a throw, so if it doesn't get blocked by Faith Shield, or if you've not got a way to stop it, your block modifiers get +1 for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, seems decent.
I could see Toru 2 running this because it's got the same symbols. You're already modifying, but we also don't know what Bubble Girl does. But I'm very interested to see if she's going to be able to utilize block modifiers to make this.
I mean, I'm assuming this is confirming she's definitely going to be in the set, right?
So she's not part of the main set, and we know there's no quirk packs, so she may be plus ultra.
Has it been confirmed that the character is not in the main set?
Going off the numbers and how it fits in, if she's in the main set, they're not sticking to the usual distribution of alphabetical sets.
I mean, the numbers seem all over the place from what I've seen on a lot of the cards, so we'll have to wait and see,
there is someone on Discord who has put what numbers are left, and the 9 card sets and the 3 card sets have followed the same position. I think there's 1 full set left, and I think there's 2 3 card sets. But looking at this being a 91 Bubble, if she was going to be in there with her name under Bubble Girl, she'd be a lot higher. If she goes under her street name, she may be part of the 3 card set, but very unlikely. I think she's going to be the provisional promo, but that's just me wanting her to be foil all over. One person has said that because we're not getting the quirk packs, she might end up being a
plus ultra, maybe.
No, a secret rare.
I'd be amazed if they did secret rare characters, but we'll see.
Apple is this is such a good, a true good symbol card. It makes me think she's gonna be Amy from Soul Calibur 4. Before my time, I don't know Amy from Soul Calibur 4.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what I can't remember what the character was that Shane put in his video that compared it to it, but I think they had whatever character it was had a static that said all block modifiers are increased. Yeah. And it was like an old character.
I really like this, and the main reason, Peter, I think we might get a secret rare character is just because we're not getting the quirk packs anymore, which was very similar. You had a 1 in 5 chance of getting this character, and now you essentially got a 1 in. It was Sniper Joe. Yeah, This is Sniper Joe support.
Right. Okay.
Let's move on to the Rappa cards that were spoiled by Jasco. Lust for Battle, a 1 cost 5 check plus 3 mid block. Remove after this card enters your discard pile during the combat phase. Your rival's next check gets -1. Failing that check does not end the combat phase. Decent.
Yeah. Again, he needs to be blowing up their own foundations, which I think this is Rapper, which is what he does, right? If I
Yeah.
remember rightly. So unexciting, probably fine.
Under Rapper, I believe this basically gives your check +2 and your rival's check to block -1. Well, it's your rival's next check. So if you're playing this in order, you could play this, but you can't really play it with League Invitation because that's remove. Or is it the one that the Kurigiri one that gives you, can give you +2 speed? I think that's a remover cost, so you can't use it with that because this has to enter discard.
Yeah.
But you could run it with if you could destroy it under Shigaraki 3, you can then go cool. Make a check against a 5. I will draw a card, but your check automatically has -1. This is -1 to their next check, not -1 to their check to block.
Yeah, you want to check hack on important things though, right? Unless you're desperate for that card. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if we get check abilities back, because this could also have some fun hacking those guys. Knuckle Sandwich, 4 cost attack, 3 check, 2 low for 5, 2 low block, decent to see in these symbols. Punch, combo enhance. This attack gets +2 speed. If your rival is taking damage this turn, it gets +2 damage. Enhance. If your rival tries to block this with a non-attack card, their check to block gets -2.
Yeah. Solid filler. It's a low.
It's decent for its symbols.
Like if you can combo, it's like a 4 low 5, 2 low block. Depends whether the punch package is like under fire, even in order, which obviously Rapper's going to get.
Yeah, Rapper's going to come out swinging. Moving on to Rikia.
Bad card is bad. I hate this guy. I think he's terrible.
He's one of the lowest 5-handers I've seen, and yeah, he gains health, but he doesn't do it for free. Lose 1 health. If this attack deals damage, gain 1 health. It's got
2 health.
It's got gain 2 health. It's got muscle bash, which I'm kind of okay. But once per turn, reveal top X cards of your deck. Remove 1 card. Reveal this way, and this guy actually replay this remove card as your next card this turn. X equals the total health total health gain this turn.
There's it means you have to play with life gain. Life gain is terrible. It's almost as bad as mill. This card's just bad. Maybe you can look at the top 2 or something, or the top 3 or 4. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have life gain cards, but honestly, this guy just seems worse than Backdraft.
You've got life, so you're playing it with the training card from the starter set from Deku, which gains life when it's played.
Yeah, basically, to make this card even remotely playable, you have to play bad cards. Get to the end, he's terrible. Cut to Tim Keefe saying he's amazing and what you want about.
I think he would be a lot more playable if he had the Mina 1 wording of you may play this as your next card, no check required. So you could
even then, you're just gaining 2 or 3 health, then you might get a card you want to play. Bad.
I like it. I like it as a fun card, but it's definitely not.
I don't even think it's fun. I think he just does nothing. Honestly, doesn't do anything exciting. Doesn't do stats. Might gain a bit of health. Health gain is boring.
Then we've got his in attack, vital impact, 5 check, 5 difficulty 3 check, 4 low for 5, 1 high block, which is great. Fury punch, lose 2 life, enhance, lose 2 health, gain 3 health. If this is your first attack this turn, it gains 2 speed. So essentially, this is gain 1, but gain 3 for your own ability. And if this is your first attack, +2 speed, so it's a 6 for 5. If you've played a card from anywhere other than your hand, this turn this attack gains powerful 3.
So the only way, obviously, you really get both is if you've played this card which you're never really going to do in this character.
No.
So it's like an either or. To get like you either getting the speed or you're getting the powerful.
Yeah, but it has got the evil symbol, which all these cards share, so it is going to be interchangeable with Rappa.
Yeah, like lose 2, gain 3. Sure, you're gaining 1. Obviously, it's a bit better for him because it's like, you've gained 3 health, so you might actually get a card you want. Nah, you'll
Now,
play it, but I'm never playing this card.
moving on to the most anticipated and highly sought after reveal of the set, Kirishima 3. Everyone knew this was coming. We were all hyped for it. Doesn't have manly spirit counters, which is really surprising.
Yeah, I was expecting. So because I don't see them putting counters on a non-character card, right? They haven't done that yet, and I'm sure I've read somewhere they said they weren't planning on doing that, but I might be wrong.
So it might be that one of the other characters left to be revealed then is Tetsu 2.
Maybe.
Which is just going to be fun to say. But yeah,
Well, because it's a threesome, isn't it? I say threesome, but it's like the story is Kirishima, Tetsu, and Fat Gun, right? As a little 3-way.
So it was Tetsu, Kirishima, and Fourth Kind.
Oh,
and then it was Kirishima and Fat Gum. I don't think Tetsu was part of that bit.
No, it was Amajiki, I think. Maybe was it?
Yeah, it was Tamaki. It was Tamaki. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This card is not. I don't think is going to be busted in the same way the other Kirishimas have. So yeah, he's a 7-hander, 20 health, death, earth, void, enhance. If your fury or punch attack is partially blocked, your other loses 2 health.
Love that.
Response once per turn. After you completely block this attack, it deals no damage.
Love that.
Response once per turn. Destroy 1 foundation. After attack is completely blocked, your rival destroys 1 foundation. He's cool. It just means they don't get to partially block anything. You get a free face shield on face, which is nice. Kinda.
They've taken
not quite Wall Cling is it? You have to still completely block, but it's a throw answer, which is nice to have on like a 7-hander.
Yeah, it feels to me like this to me feels like it should have been a future Shigaraki card. It feels like they've taken some of All for One's ability, they've taken some of Shigaraki's ability, and they've put it on a counter. This feels very evil and very defensive, and it feels like they've jumped the gun that this should have been like Shigaraki 6.
Maybe. Again, just like he seems cool. I don't think he's busted at all. But not one that particularly kind of excites me to play or build. Like he's just a bit bland.
I can see a lot more builds on this coming through Death than on Earth or Void, because you're gonna get.
Well, you're just gonna go down we're gonna block everything route. Like you're gonna play Evil Gazes and Merciless Rushes and all the other stuff.
But you're also gonna go instant explosive release on Death. And you're gonna go You're gonna go double, but because you got your Fury and Punch, which means you're gonna have a lot of fun along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many throws that you can really use that have Punch or Fury on them under these symbols.
No, but that's okay.
But yeah,
it just means I don't get to partially block because that would just be terrible value.
But I could also see this going on the Void, going Think Fast, going, okay, cool, I'm now going to make all my attacks the same zone. Hope you picked yours correctly.
Yeah.
Make everything an off block on Void. Seems good. Red counter. If this attack is completely blocked, it does not clear from the card pool at the end phase. Seems bad on paper. Response, card pool. Remove. After your rival plays an attack, its damage cannot be modified. Love that. A 5 cost free check 5 high 5.
Don't like it.
I love it. I love it to just annoy Jiro. I love it against Stabby 1. I love it against Stabby 2. It's just a case of you pick the right attack and you can shut your opponent down.
Yeah.
You play against Nomu. You play against Nomu.
It feels niche.
I get that, but it's supposed to be that if you're up against Nomu, you go haha. If you're up against Muscular, you go haha. All for one, because it even counters character abilities, which I absolutely love. That's the one thing I love about it.
Yeah.
As an ultra rare, I think it's lacking, but
It's uncommon.
Is it uncommon? Oh, it's uncommon. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is not the power level for an ultra rare.
That's what I thought about. It's a bit blurry for me. Red Gauntlet. 4 cost, 3 check, 3 low for 4, +2 block mod, +2 high block mod. Flash, Fury Punch, response destroy foundation. After this attack deals damage, your rival destroys 2 face down foundations. Delta response, after this attack is completely blocked, destroy 3 rival foundations. That's decent.
Yeah, that's punishing, right? Like destroying 1 to destroy 2 means they have to block this, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously you're never allowed to go into deadlock against this card. But
it's still losing.
It is only a 3 low 4. They're just gonna take 4. It's just basically this reads as 4 free damage, and you can't really pump it because it's flash.
Under Earth, you can play this after Texas, and it's a 3 low 8.
You can. I'd rather play something I can bump the speed off, so I can actually get that damage off. Because obviously you can't then bump the speed on this, right? It's like, do I need something that's always going to just do 4 damage and go to momentum? That's how this card reads. Because although no, I read this wrong. It's not. So the top one is off. It deals damage. So actually, no, this is quite punishing for them to just take, isn't it? So
it needs to be blocked. It's a nice early one.
Yeah.
The only time I think you take it is if you have no face down foundations, or if you've got Chivalrous down, because Chivalrous just beats it.
Oh yeah, only blows up face downs.
It specifically counters Cementos.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this card. It's either going to be terrible or actually pretty good, and I think it's probably almost one of those ones that you might just put a cheeky 1 or 2 of in, and that's sometimes good and sometimes you're going to block with and you don't care.
Yeah, if you're in a local environment where Bakugo 3 or Cementos or Ariyama gets a lot of play, then go. If I was going to play against Kyle, and I knew I was going to play against Kyle, I'd probably slip a couple of those in my sideboard just to really annoy him in game 2.
Yeah. Sorry, my chihuahua was whinging and wants fusses.
That's fine. My sister-in-law's got a chihuahua. I know they demand a lot of attention.
Yes.
This card looks absolutely beautiful. Red, white, unbreakable. 5 cost, 3 check, 1 mid block, 4 mid for 7. Breaker 1 fury. Enhance for the rest of the turn. Your rival. For the rest of the turn, your rival loses 2 health after they play a response during the block or damage step. Discard momentum. Discard momentum. Your rival destroys 1 ready foundation. Build top card of your deck.
I mean that's just brutal because you're going up 1, they're going down 1. Like it's a swing of 2. Yeah, this seems decent, especially as a 1 mid breaker 1.
You say that first enhances niche, but it doesn't. It doesn't say non-character ability. Which is
no, but it's only during block step or damage step. It's not responses during step, right?
So breaker.
Yeah, Echo. Like breaker or face shield and that sort of stuff.
No, Echo's yours. So breaker, faith shield, learning the standards, Shinzo.
Yeah. Again, they just got to do it. So, I mean, I think if you get 1 burn off with this, it's decent. It just means they don't get to breaker block this. Or, I mean, they can, but they take 2.
No, it's for the rest of the turn. It shuts down breaker for the rest of the turn. So you start. So going up against the chaos deck.
Excuse me.
You're going up against the chaos deck. Again, with this, it would just be a case of, cool. You can breaker me, but it's going to cost you 2 health per turn. Per time.
And it's just obviously got a lot of damage. So, you just put a bit of speed on it. I think this, just that bottom enhance is really good. Like if you can get a pokey momentum in, just destroying one, you building one is very good.
Yeah, it's like hard and pummel, where you were building and you were gaining a lot of damage for momentum. This one is destroy your rival destroys one ready foundation, so essentially it's a more brutal stun one, and you get
Yeah,
to build the top card of your deck with for one momentum. That is that's just all decent. That's UR power.
yeah, exactly.
Moving forward, facing danger. 2 cost 5 check plus 3 mid block. Enhanced destroy changes attacks damage to 5. Response flip after this attack. After this card is committed due to rival effect, unflipped unflip one over foundation. Playable well committed.
Solid. I mean, you got to love resets. It's
Uh,
just like your encouraging training partner, right?
yeah, I think this is another indicator that it can't be fixed. Might be on its way out because this would act in the same window as it can't be fixed. So you'd go respond, it can't be fixed, flip, build top card of my deck, flip facing danger, unflip it can't be fixed, same respond window, flip it can't be fixed, build one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do all of that. I don't know whether it can't fix will be banned or not, but like it's another reset. Like I think it's going to see play. Like it's a bit of stun hate as well. I think this does enough on a nice 2.
It's a 2 shot, like you said, just like encouraging training partner. It shuts down indiscriminate. It shuts down home and comet. It shuts down All Might 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's an absolute beast. It's not got the greatest block mod in the world.
And also, like obviously, you can use it like offensively, right? You know, they nerf your damage with a spooky or something. It's like, okay, cool, I'll set it to 5.
Exactly, and you can flip chivalrous. Both players draw a card, and then your opponent goes cool stun one, go cool flip it. I'll unflip chivalrous. I'm ready to go again. It's a great utility card all around. I can see it's definitely seeing a lot of play.
It's not going to be a 4-off, but you're going to play a couple.
Learning to harden. I love seeing Kirishima in his natural hair color. I think he's. I love him in red, but I love the dark hair on him as well. Other than learning to harden, 2 check, 2 difficulty, 5 check plus 2 mid block. Commit, enhanced commit. This attack gets -2 speed or +2 damage. Death response after this card is destroyed. Draw 1 card. I don't think it wins out in the battle for 2 slot.
It's just the -2/+2 is just not exciting enough for a commit. Like, because +2 speed is effectively only -1 because obviously you're committing resource to get it. Commit for +2 damage is never exciting. Sure, you get to draw a card after you destroy it, but
If this was a one check, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
If this
was on a 1, I could see it. On a 2, I don't think so.
On a 1, I would definitely chuck this into a Howitzer deck, just because you get to draw that additional 1 for destroying it with Howitzer. But on a 2, it's not that great, especially as the response can't be played well committed.
Yes.
If the response can be played well committed, then I would definitely say this is at least a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
You have to choose between the 2, which is not great. Unbreakable. This to me is just great. 3 cost, 3 difficulty, 5 check, +2 high block. This card cannot be destroyed or removed due to rival effects. Response once per turn, discard momentum. After your rival plays a non-character ability that destroys, flips, or removes a foundation from your stage, cancel it. Commit, destroy 1 foundation. If your rival blocks this attack, it is considered complete.
If you block this attack,
if you block
it's just like a little wall-cling, right?
So it's a committable wall-cling rather than a flip.
No, it's not quite a wall-cling. Wall-cling reduces throws, right? This doesn't do anything against throws, but it means your off zones work. Obviously, it's a cancel against destroy. It's just whether all of that adds up to a 3, right? Like the static is nice, but not that big a deal.
So for me,
I can still just flip it.
For me, it's the static ability. When I go to Southampton. There is a Shigaraki 1 player, arguably the best Shigaraki 1 player in Europe due to current standings, and his entire board is about making me destroy stuff on my field. And if I have Unbreakable on board and they go, commit Shigaraki, destroy Radiant Foundation, I go, Unbreakable. I was like, oh. And they go, okay, I can't remember a lot of evil cards. It doesn't work against Evil Gaze, but anything that would be turn to dust, go commit, I go, cool. They go destroy, pay 2 life or destroy 1 foundation, commit to effect, Unbreakable.
Yeah, but it's only a once per turn. Again, it's just like, does that actually really do enough on
Well,
a
no.
3? I think...
This cannot be destroyed or removed is a static ability.
Yeah.
So that's. So I'm on about whenever your opponent tells you to destroy a foundation, you just target Unbreakable and it can't be destroyed.
I don't think that's how that works.
Well, it says it can't be. If it doesn't say.
No, I think you're basically forced to destroy something else.
I don't know. We have to definitely ask a judge, and we have got Apple in here and stuff like that. But it's still a valid target.
It is, but you cannot, because you cannot destroy it, right? That is not a legal choice for the effect. I think that top static only works against targeted destroy from your opponent.
Well, you wouldn't really need it then, would you? Don't know. I have to double check with the judge, but I still think it's a legal target.
Or else or else the response does little, right? It wouldn't say
well, no,
destroys.
because the response to Sky Momentum would be for targeted. After your opponent puts a non-character ability that destroys a foundation, so you'd be flips or removes it, so you could use that for targeted ones.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they tried to flip your Unbreakable with Seizing the Advantage. You've got it there, but
again, I would have to check with the FAQ / judges, but I don't think that's how that works. But
personally, I definitely think, and I've just realised that if you play, if you play this on Earth, you get Chivalrous as well, and nothing is ever getting flipped that you don't want flipped.
Yeah,
that is. But yeah, that's definitely something that I have to, because the way I've been reading it and the way I've been hyping up Unbreakable is the fact that whenever you're forced to destroy a foundation, you go, cool, I'll destroy Unbreakable. And it's like, oh, but it can't be destroyed. Because it sort of just soaks it all in, which would be very thematic, but we'd have to double check if it's still a legal target because it can't be destroyed. But
yeah, that's it. Because it cannot be destroyed, I don't think it's a legal target for you to pick for that ability.
But yeah, it's one of those things that we'll definitely have to get checked by a judge. I may be wrong. I am wrong quite a lot. Moving on to this very bad character, Shin Nimoto.
My boy.
7 hand, 20 health.
I'm going to read this one. So he's a 7 hand size, 20 life. He's got air, death, and evil. So form, obviously it's a bit tricky to read it. Twice per turn, add 1 card from your hand to your card pool face down. Your rival names an attack zone. Unflip the added card and play it as your next form. If it's an attack whose printed zone is not the name zone, it gets -1 difficulty and +3 speed. And he has a response. After your attack deals damage, your rival reveals 1 random card from their hand. So, is this guy good? I have no idea.
Is he fun?
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do stats. I guess he does do stats in his face, kinda. But is playing that little mind game thing the best fun anyone could ever have? Yes, or at least for me, anyway. So
it's a shell game.
Yeah, well, it's a Psy game. So this is why Linoko likes his character well. I'm guessing. Because he was like, obviously he's a famous Mineta main. He's like, my new main is in this set, and this is the guy.
Is this the guy? Because I haven't seen Linoko confirm it. I think he said this.
No, he did.
Okay,
he did. It's because we're both old Netrunner players. This ability of there's a choice of 3, we both pick, and if you don't pick the same one as me, you get boned, is an effect from one of the factions in Netrunner. it was called a side game. So it's one of the corporation factions, where basically both you and the runner spent either 2, 1, or 0 credits. And if the runner spent a different amount than the corp did, the runner got boned. And there was just a load of different cards within this corporation's card pool that had that effect. And it was a lot of fun just playing that mind game. And with this, I get to do it in my hero. So like, this is just what I'm doing forever now.
You are limited to twice per turn, though.
Sure, but you then get to do things like flip press conference, show you a hulking grimace, play a card face down. Do you feel lucky, punk?
You get to play a fury attack and then go, I'll play this face down. Is it a prominence burn? Is it something else? Let's find out.
Yeah. So like, this is the guy I'm most excited to build. I think he's going to be a lot of fun. I'm fully aware that every time I play this, my opponent is always going to correctly guess every single time, and I'm never going to get the ability. But I'm still going to keep playing it.
If I pull this in sealed, I am playing this in sealed, because you will never be able to predict when I'm playing in sealed.
No. Obviously, the response is cool for like, just seeing what blocks they have and playing around that. And again, that's just another layer to the mind games, right? It's like, I've seen you've got a mid block.
But
I'm probably not playing a mid attack, am I?
And you've got the confession with the deadlock, which is you name a card they can't block with it. It's like, haha.
Exactly. Obviously, that works with him. You're messing up their cards they're holding for block zones. Like, yeah, because obviously that's giving you some more like information because you've seen what card they've discarded. They discarded the low block. Am I playing a low? What do you think it is? And obviously it's a bit like the scene from Princess Bride, right? The Sicilian with Vizzini. It's like, it's that whole kind of mind game back and forth. I love it. This is just what I'm going to do forever now.
No, yeah.
Probably on all 3 symbols, but I think I want to play on evil more than anything.
I'm very excited to see. I was just looking at Death, because if you could go with the Fury package on Death, and then you could just play a normal attack, and then as your second attack, you could play. I'm going to play this one. Is it an instant explosive release? Is it not? Let's find out. Is it a Howler to Impact? We don't know.
I don't think so. For me, I don't think with this guy you want to play stuff that is over reliant on packages or whatever the card that was played previously, because that's just telegraphing a bit, right?
Yeah.
I think to me, I want to play like a slim 50, play it aggressive. I want to play 18, 16 attacks, whatever, and I want to play half pokes, like 4 diffs that I can play later in the chain, because it's a 7-hander, so you want to chain a bit. And I want to play a good chunk of bangers, and I want to play equal zones like you did with a Giro. And I want to play Decaying Palm Strike. I want to play Hulking Grimace. I want to play probably Prominence Burn. I want to play his card that I'm sure we're going to get to next. Maybe Vol Seizing. Just things that have high damage that if it gets to +3 speed, -1 difficulty, they're just dead.
Do you play this on air with Training Gunhead for that additional speed and just go like, Indiscriminate Shock is coming, but can you guess when and where it is? Because you could
maybe
going to my favorite one, you could always go Jolt, double jab pummel, and then go, is it a Indiscriminate Shock or is it a Home Comet face down?
I feel like Air doesn't have the bangers that I want it to have. Unlike Death and Evil. Like, I want to play those big old 6 diffs where I can make the most of that -1 difficulty.
Yeah.
So, like I say, Decaying Palm Strike, Grimace, Prominence Burn, and the card we'll get to in a second. But
well,
I love this guy. This is me now, and it's just one of those few. Like, I don't tend to XR decks. I don't tend to fall him out. I can't be bothered.
You want him?
I'm probably going to XR his deck if I can.
Would you like to go over Deadly Fire as well? Then?
Sure. So this is a common, which is crazy. So it's a 6 diff, 1 low block, 3 check, 4 mid for 7 ranged and tech. Obviously, it's got shin symbols of Air, Death, and Evil. Response: after you play this card, if a card has been played from anywhere other than the hand this turn, draw a card. So at worst, this cantrips. And then, if this attack's speed is 7 or more, your opponent loses 3 health.
Which is just nuts. Because
Yes. So obviously, if you ever sneak this in, they lose the 3 health because it gets the +3 speed.
yeah, that's your first enhance. Always.
Yes. Also, you don't need to get that speed from him, right? You can get it from your foundations if you need it. Does that response? The response doesn't say other card, does it? So again,
if a card has been played from anywhere other than the hand this turn, draw 1 card.
So as long as like you know,
As long
that
as you
can
fight
be your
with
first. Yeah, you just draw a card off it. Cantrips are always good, and also you'll notice that bottom enhance doesn't say those magic words of it cannot be you cannot reduce them below 0
Nope, it
or
can
below
kill
1.
you. Yeah,
So
it can
that
kill you.
enhance can kill, which is really good. And obviously it's 7 damage. It's a banger. Obviously the mid slot, like I want to play Grimace because who doesn't want to play Grimace? It's probably like I'm thinking like 3 bangers on each zone, and I'm thinking like maybe 2 of this, 1 Grimace for my mids.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I'm
you're gonna play 18-666?
Yeah, that's the basically like in like Ojo.
The Ojo free lineup, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like probably like 3 Decaying Palm Slam or maybe 2 and 1 more. Because again, I think you want to be unpredictable, right?
Yeah.
So you want to have variation in your lineup. So I think like 2 of this, 1 Grimace, some other stuff, like maybe 2 Decaying Palm Slams and like another low banger, and then some highs.
It's one of those decks where your opponent is going to have if they make notes or if they make mental notes before your turn, they're gonna have to go for your discard. They're gonna have to go, okay, and they're gonna have to just play the odds as to what's in your discard. So like, okay, there's 4 lows, 3 mids, and 2 highs, so I've got to call high because that's what the majority you might be drawing. Then you draw the low and you're sitting pretty.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love it.
Moving on.
Again, I don't know how playable this is outside of him, but like honestly, getting this to, I mean, it's obviously 7 damage. It's got a nice block on it, and if you can get that speed to 7, like burning for 3 is not nothing.
No, especially like you said, as it can kill. If you can get them low enough within that range, then you're perfect.
Yeah.
Moving on to a card that kind of caught people off guard. Lock. 6-hander, 27 health, all earth order. Response twice per turn. After your non-ranged attack deals damage, freeze 1 rival foundation. That foundation cannot be readied until the start of your next turn. Commit after your rivals. After start your rivals can draw 1 card for each of your rivals commit foundation. These are the last 3 cards, so we can wrap up in a minute, Ben. I didn't realize when on my first initial read that you don't actually get to commit and freeze. It's just freeze on the twice per turn.
Yeah.
But we're going off like the fact it's got order and earth. You've got enough access to stun that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, a lot of them have range though, right? So like for example, 1.3 million is arranged.
Yeah.
Also, it's got it has the very weird kind of. Obviously, they printed those nice freeze tokens in the thing, but now you can't use that. You need 2 ones. You need normal freeze and then lock freeze because it's got that second text of that foundation cannot ready. So, like, if you freeze a foundation, you can still request an assistance hit, and obviously with his ability, you can't. Again, it's cool. It doesn't do any stats.
I honestly think the only reason that they put the non-ranged keyword onto this is because Blazing Icicle was in Class Reunion. If if you compare this with Blazing Icicle, you're freezing 2 foundations every time you deal 4 damage, which seems too good. I like this character, and I still think no matter what, you're running 1.3 million on order. And
yeah,
very importantly, Jolt doesn't have ranged,
yeah,
which is the most powerful card in his lineup now.
yeah. You're just looking for as much stun, and like any sort of other incidental kind of freeze or committal stuff like that, and you're just trying to kind of just get them committed out.
Also, if reversal or a reversal-esque attack comes back in the future, that does not say your turn.
I don't think they're ever doing that.
That does not say twice per turn your turn. That says twice per turn. So if we get a nerfed version of reversal, you can freeze in your opponent's turn.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever doing that. I don't think they ever bring a reversal back.
That's fair. I know Kyle, Blues fan, is a big fan of Scion, Proud Scion. And on order, this just gets nuts, because if you can commit and freeze 2 foundations and you get 2 Proud Scions down, you're drawing 4 cards in your rival's combat phase, at the start of your rival's combat phase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's praising Deku 4 for being able to draw 3 cards in your at the beginning of your rival step. This guy can pretty much keep up with that.
Yeah.
On decent symbols as well. I like Lock. Moving on to his attack. I misread this initially reading it, but it's a 5 difficulty 3 check, 4 mid 4, plus 2 high block, punch slam, stun 1, lock stun 1. Enhance. If this attack deals damage, freeze 1 foundation committed by this attack's stun ability. Enhance. Discard 1 momentum. This attack gains +1 speed for each committed rival foundation.
So this is cool, and probably you use it in Lock because it sort of works on what he wants to do. But it's a big old 5 diff for 4 damage, isn't it?
It's a 5. It's a minimum of a 5/6 mid for 4.
It's 4 damage.
It does have that lovely punch keyword though for Deku 2.
It's got 4 damage.
On symbols that can boost that damage.
But it's got 4 damage. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, I don't know. 4 on a 5, just like. Yeah.
It's Lock isn't supposed to overpower and win in a turn. It's similar to Death Arms. It's supposed to lock you down. It's supposed to slow the game down and drag it
Death
out.
Arms put stats on face.
Yeah.
Lock doesn't, right? And that's the problem. This is just a big old 4 damage, and like I'm just unexcited.
Yeah, that's I like it. I wish it was freeze every foundation committed by its stun ability. I think then it would more than justify it.
But again, only in Lock. Like I think outside Lock, this is never getting any play.
If that was a lot, if that was a Lock in like a Lock response after it deals damage, freeze every foundation. Like, if it had a caveat at the end, freeze 1 foundation committed by its attack ability. If your Lock freeze all foundations committed by its stun ability.
Also, that bomb enhance is terrible. Like, in order for that plus speed to be good enough to be worth the momentum, they're committed out enough that they're never blocking it anyway.
Well, it's a minimum of +2 because you got
but
stun.
But for a momentum, for 4, no, bad card.
Fair enough.
Skip to the end.
And,
I don't like it. I don't like it.
We've got Deadbolt, an action that everyone's kind of been gushing over.
This looks cool.
5 for it's a 5/5, 1 mid block. After you play this card, if your starting character is Lock, discard it from your card pool. First form, choose one of the following effects: name an asset or foundation, commit and freeze all rivals' copies of the named card, commit and freeze up to 2 rival assets or foundations. Yeah, seems decent.
Yeah, like especially going turn 2, like you're just gonna poke. Like, I'm just gonna play out my jolt and then build. So you just go, okay, I need to make sure I don't die, or I'm gonna kind of pressure them, or so to like set up for next turn, I'm gonna go first form, do this, commit and freeze, jolt you, poke, build a build. Cool. You've now got 2 less foundations. you can't really afford to poke me necessarily. You've got to build, and then all of a sudden my turn 3 is much better.
Yeah,
Um,
that's just it. And even you just play it. You go commit the 2, jolt, commit another 1. Uh, build my remaining 4 cards. Start of your combat phase. Draw 3.
Yeah.
Go cool. And now I've got my defensive build as well, which it seems decent. I'm not a fan of the art style on Locklock's cards.
mm,
It it feels very Futurama-y to me.
yeah.
I don't know if it was because I just watched the new trailer for the Futurama reboot that's coming later this year before these
Yeah,
cards are revealed.
it doesn't feel very My Hero-y,
No,
I'll be honest.
when you
But then
compare
again, I have zero knowledge about the character at all. So
it to Deadly Fire or Kirishima 3, it feels like there isn't as much detail in these cards.
but yeah, so that action seems like definitely a nice spicy 1 or 2 of.
I even not even in Locklock in
No, just in like other order type decks, like maybe like a Shiggy 3 type thing.
I can see my rivals sideboarding between Engine Trouble and Deadbolt between games. I could see Fourth Kind getting hold of it for that once per game.
Yeah, so that one. So I think that action's much more of an offensive piece because obviously it's a form, whereas Engine Trouble you can use a lot more defensively. So it's like a going first versus going second type job.
Exactly. But imagine if you're up against Fourth Kind, they go first form, commit those 2, start off with an indiscriminate shock, commit 4, stun 1, I'll commit 1, you stun 1. That's 8 gone.
Yeah, but I don't know how much Fourth Kind gets to play actions. He's a 5-hander.
I've seen a fair few greedy Fourth Kinds, but we have gone 2.5 hours. But we've got through them all so far.
We've got through some news as well, and sort of had obviously a chat about other stuff at the beginning.
We've got we're probably gonna be a lot more to come over. We'll cover them as and when they come through. And then once they're all out, we'll go. We could probably do like go for a tier system as well. See how ours match up.
Mm-hmm.
I think for next week you want to build a deck together and go over our different processes of building a deck.
We'll see. So obviously, it won't be next Tuesday because I'm off in sunny Rome.
Nice.
Maybe the following Sunday, because obviously we want to try and move this to Sundays if possible, so we're not clashing with the Patriot Games webcam event.
No.
They run on Tuesday nights. Shameless plug. Have a look on the Discords or the Patriot Games website or any of that, and you should be able to find details.
It's open to all players of all nationalities: American, European, Oceania. Sean will sort you out and get them out to you at no additional cost into your entry fee because Patriot are top class at what they're doing this, and it means that we can get back to playing those as well. If I can actually get Flynn to not demand attention while I'm trying to play. But we'll try and get something in next week at some point.
Yeah.
Probably going over what happens at KC and some other stuff. But yeah, we've got some stuff planned for like talking about our own deck building processes and going for stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going to try and get some celebrity guests. Or other guests on and come and join us and chat with us. But yeah, and then obviously we'll have an episode sort of at least before the pre-release just to talk about how we feel about the process in there. And obviously we'll have to do a tier list at some point because every content creator has to do a tier list. It's sort of the law.
It's fine. We have like F tier. We skip the other ones: D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, S tier, and then Dabby tier, and then and then that's where the Dabbies go.
Okay.
Right. You can have Shin tier, and I'll have Dabby tier.
Yes.
But I think we're gonna call it there because we both got to get up early.
Right. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll catch you for the next episode.
And we'll, yep, as we said, we'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Bye.
Peace out.